Okay, so now we're on to the next aspect of our trading strategy, and that is volume. It is one thing to have movement in the market, but if you don't have volume, that movement could be weak. And it's kind of like strength, but it's really more about how much liquidity is entering the market at that time. Now, there's a lot of data that we don't have access to being retail traders, but we can utilize the combination of all these different pieces of data to help us construct our own personal algorithm. And the volume is a major piece of this. And it took me a long time to find a really good volume indicator. Now, there are lots out there. Again, make sure that you're comfortable with it. Do some back testing if you want. And what I'm showing you is simply a guideline. It is entirely possible that this one is not going to be the one that I use forever. As I test more and more indicators all the time, my trading strategy can also change. But the one that I'm using right now with great success is the WAE. And the way that you use this is you combine your entry, you combine your technical analysis with a breakout of volume. So if you have a spell of dead volume where there's very little volume within the market, and then there is a breakout of volume where it breaks out of a threshold, then we have a greater success, a greater likelihood of seeing the trend complete far enough that you can properly take profit. If there's not enough volume at the beginning of the trend that you have indication of, it might not move far enough for you to take profit. So that's what the purpose of this. And we'll get into the full pieces of it later, but I just wanted to show you how this tool works. So here we have a lot of downward motion here, and that's kind of like almost like an imbalance in the market. Balances itself back out again, but let's go over more towards the top of this here. Here we go. So as you can see, we have the top of a trend here, and then it starts to come down. And where it starts to come down, we want to see the volume break out of what's called the dead zone. Now again, I've changed the colors on this, so you want to make sure that you're using colors that make sense for you. Tan for me is bullish, and gray is bearish. So we have this here, and then it comes down, but you can see that even though it's coming down, the volume is really low in that area. It isn't until we have a breakout of volume where it rises above the tan line, which is our moving average, and the dead zone, which are those dots. So now we have a bearish volume indicator coming out from underneath the dead zone, and that indicates we have a trend. Now here, again, this is a market imbalance, so it's great if you can catch this, but you might not always be able to, and so you may wait until after that. But here we have, right here, it starts to come back up again after this. This is, again, don't think that I use trend lines, I don't. But there's the general line that impulse follows outside of this market imbalance. After it starts to turn around, we can see that we have a dead zone in the volume, but then it comes out and breaks out on this bar right here. So that breakout of volume coincides with a more significant trend. And what we have here is really not a breakout until this, the indicator shows us a breakout way over here. But that's so far and late into this motion, and the reason why is because this is a market imbalance. So you don't have to pay attention to that. We're watching for the crossing of our other elements. But so the purpose of this is just to show you how this component works. And this is a tool that I like to use for now. I'm always testing more. My weekends are usually back testing more than all the time that I spend throughout the week actually executing trades. So yeah, be mindful that you may even find a volume indicator that helps you more than this one. But right now, this is something that I found very helpful to coincide with the start and finish of a trend. So thanks so much. Talk to you later.